Signs that another version of you is trying to send a message. Have you ever stopped to think that everything you know about yourself might be just a fraction of what truly exists? What if I told you that, right now, there's another version of you, living a different life, making choices you've never imagined? Even more unsettling, what if that version is desperately trying to contact you, but you're simply not paying attention? Make no mistake, the signs are all around you. Déjà vu moments that make you question reality, dreams that feel more real than your waking life, or that inexplicable intuition urging you to act, which you keep ignoring. These aren't mere coincidences. They're messages. And every time you turn your back on these signs, you're missing an opportunity to completely alter the course of your life. Think about it. How many times have you felt something was off, but couldn't explain why? How often have coincidences seemed too significant to be random? Perhaps it's time to face the truth. You are not alone in your existence. Other versions of yourself might be trying to guide you, warn you, awaken you to something greater, but you're stuck in a routine that blinds your perception. Now, ask yourself, do you truly have control over your life, or are you living on autopilot? What would you do if you could access wisdom from another reality? Are you ready to face what these messages have to say? Because whether you like it or not, these clues will keep appearing, until the moment you finally decide to listen. And when that happens, you might never see life the same way again. Parallel realities. Imagine for a moment that somewhere, there exists a version of you who made entirely different decisions at key points in life. Maybe they pursued a different career, chose another place to live, or engaged in completely different relationships. Isn't it fascinating to think that these parallel versions might be connected to you through an invisible web, like a vast energy system interlinking everything? Quantum physics and spiritual teachings converge to make us wonder, what if every choice you didn't make created a new branch of your existence? This idea of multiple realities might seem like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually a profoundly human concept. Think about all the times you've wondered, what if? Each of these doubts is like a portal to another possibility, another life path that might coexist with your own. But what links all of them together? Is it mere imagination, or is there something greater that connects us to these versions of ourselves? Quantum theories, which challenge everything we think we know about reality, suggest that the universe is not linear but an infinite field of possibilities. Picture yourself standing before an endless ocean, where each drop represents a version of you. Some drops shine brightly because they're aligned with your current energy, while others seem distant, almost imperceptible. But can we truly access these realities? And, more importantly, learn from them? Some say these alternate versions act as mirrors, showing us what we could have been or what we might still become. For instance, imagine there's a version of you who has overcome all the fears that limit you today. What would that person's life look like? What lessons could they teach you as you grapple with those same doubts? Is it possible to bring that wisdom into your current journey? If we take a moment to reflect, the connection to these parallel realities might be closer than we think. Have you ever experienced déjà vu, as if you were reliving a moment that has never happened before? Or perhaps felt a strong intuition to follow a path that seemed illogical at first glance? These events might be more than coincidences. They could be signs that other versions of you are trying to communicate, guiding you toward a life more aligned with your true purpose. In practical terms, how can we explore this? One intriguing method is meditation. When you quiet your mind and connect with your essence, it's like opening a window to access other layers of your existence. Many people who meditate regularly report moments of clarity where unexpected answers arise from unknown places. Could these answers come from those parallel versions of yourself? Versions that have faced similar situations and found a solution? Another fascinating point is how emotional and vibrational states can bring us closer to or further from these realities. Have you noticed that when you're in a positive state, you seem to attract better experiences? It's as if you're tuned into a frequency aligned with versions of yourself living at their peak potential. And when you're feeling low, everything seems to go wrong. Could this vibrational disconnection be what keeps us from accessing those more enlightened versions of ourselves? Biblical stories often carry elements that can be interpreted through the lens of these theories. Consider, for example, Abraham's journey, called to leave his homeland and follow an unknown path. Could this be a metaphor for aligning with a version of oneself that already understands divine purpose? These Christian lessons invite us to see beyond the immediate, recognizing that layers of reality exist far beyond what the eye can perceive. Finally, there's the matter of choice. Every small decision you make daily isn't just an isolated action. It's a creative act that shapes the reality you experience. Could making more conscious decisions, rooted in wisdom and faith, bring you closer to those versions of yourself that have already discovered a path to fulfillment? How would your life look if, from now on, every choice were made with purpose and intention? But here's the most intriguing part. What happens when these realities start to overlap? When signs like lucid dreams and synchronicities appear to show us that life is more interconnected than we realize. Perhaps this is where the true magic happens, leading us to explore something even deeper. Signs of communication. Have you ever felt as though the universe was trying to tell you something, but in a subtle, almost whisper-like way? These moments, often unexplainable, could be a reflection of something much greater happening on levels beyond what our eyes can reach. Take déjà vu, for example. Could it be more than just a brain glitch, but rather a reminder that you've been in similar situations in other realities? It's as if, for a fleeting moment, timelines cross, giving you a glimpse of an experience already lived by another version of yourself. These signs of communication, often dismissed as coincidences, might actually be powerful messages. Imagine walking down the street, grappling with a tough decision, when a billboard suddenly displays exactly the phrase you needed to see. It may seem small, but this could be synchronicity, a way for the universe, or perhaps other versions of you, to guide you. These messages don't appear randomly. They emerge when you're most receptive, aligned with something that transcends the monotony of daily life. And what about lucid dreams? Have you ever woken up feeling like you visited another place or spoke to people who seemed too real to be just your imagination? Many spiritual traditions believe that during sleep, our consciousness expands, allowing us to explore other facets of reality. Perhaps these dreams serve as windows into alternate realities, where other versions of yourself are living experiences that could provide answers or guidance for your current challenges. The same idea applies to sudden shifts in behavior. One day, you might feel an unexplainable urge to break a habit you've clung to for years. Isn't it curious how this motivation sometimes arises without any logical explanation? It could be that in another reality, you've already overcome this habit, and the impact of that victory is rippling through to your current awareness. It's as though another part of you is saying, "Hey, I've already done this. You can too." When recognized and embraced, these changes can serve as keys to profound transformation. Consider also those random encounters that end up changing your life. Have you ever met someone who brought exactly the information or inspiration you needed? It might seem like luck, but could it be something bigger? Perhaps these connections are forms of communication between realities. In another timeline, this person might have played a significant role in your life, and now that connection manifests here, offering a new opportunity. The Bible provides examples that can be interpreted as signs of communication. The visions of prophets like Daniel, who described dreams and interpretations that altered the course of history, are a powerful illustration. Could these signals have been messages from spiritual dimensions meant to guide God's people? These Christian teachings remind us that, by being attentive, we can perceive that many answers are already around us, waiting only for us to have eyes to see and ears to hear. Synchronicities aren't isolated events. They're like a trail of clues leading you to a greater purpose. Picture a puzzle, where each piece seems disconnected at first but, when assembled, reveals a complete image. The small coincidences of daily life are those pieces. The more attention you pay to them, the clearer the pattern becomes, guiding you in a defined direction. Some people report even more intense signs. Some individuals describe experiencing a guiding inner voice, not their own, that seems to lead them with remarkable clarity. Others feel an inexplicable energy in certain places or moments, as if something larger is attempting to manifest itself. These phenomena could be seen as gentle nudges from a parallel reality, reminding us that each person's journey is interconnected with something greater. But here's the question. Have you been paying attention? How many significant events in your day have passed unnoticed because you were distracted, caught up in worries or mechanical tasks? Perhaps it's time to slow down, observe more, and truly listen to what these signs are trying to convey. Even something as simple as a walk outdoors without headphones might be enough to start noticing patterns and messages around you. What's most intriguing is that the more you notice these signs, the more frequent and intense they seem to become. It's as if the universe, or those alternate versions of you, realizes you're listening and decides to amplify the communication. This compels us to reflect on the importance of being in tune with these messages. And when we learn to interpret them, we open the door to a deeper connection with what's yet to come. Vibrational alignment. Have you noticed how some people seem to attract everything they desire while others struggle just to attain the simplest things? The secret might lie in the vibrational frequency they operate on. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right station to pick up a signal, our actions, thoughts, and emotions need to align with the realities we wish to reach. But how can we adjust this frequency? It all starts with self-awareness. The way you think, feel, and act creates an energetic field around you. Think of it like a magnet. If you're vibrating at frequencies of fear, doubt, or anger, you'll attract situations that reinforce those emotions. On the other hand, when your vibration is elevated by feelings of gratitude, joy, and faith, you align with a more positive and abundant reality. It sounds simple, but it's a practice that requires daily dedication. A powerful technique for raising this vibration is meditation. When you close your eyes, breathe deeply, and quiet your mind, you allow your frequency to stabilize. Picture this as tuning an out-of-tune instrument until it produces a harmonious sound. During meditation, visualize the life you want to achieve. Mentally construct every detail as though you're living in that reality right now. This exercise not only aligns your vibrations but also creates an energetic map to attract the right circumstances. Gratitude is another indispensable tool. Have you ever paused to give thanks, even for the smallest things, like the warmth of the sun or someone's smile? This simple act has the power to completely shift your vibrational frequency. Studies show that gratitude releases hormones that not only improve mood but also make us more open to recognizing opportunities we might otherwise overlook. It's like cleaning the lenses of your glasses and finally seeing the world more clearly. Another valuable practice is conscious action. Often, we're stuck in automatic patterns that don't contribute to our goals. For instance, if you want to improve your health but keep neglecting nutrition or exercise, you're creating a disconnect between your desires and your actions. The key lies in small, consistent steps. Each day, choose at least one action that reflects the reality you want to attract. The Bible also teaches us about the importance of aligning our actions with faith. Passages like "Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find," remind us that our intentions and behaviors must align for God's plan to manifest. These Christian teachings reinforce that vibrational alignment isn't just about wanting something. It's about living as though you've already received it. Another critical aspect is the company you keep. Have you noticed how some people elevate your energy while others seem to drain it? This happens because we all vibrate at different frequencies. Surrounding yourself with people who share positive values and optimistic visions can be a catalyst for raising your own vibration. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. However, vibrational alignment isn't just about attracting material things. It's about connecting with a higher version of yourself. Imagine that in an alternate reality, there's a you who has already achieved everything you dream of. That you has habits, thoughts, and behaviors that led them there. Ask yourself, what would that version of me do in my place today? This simple reflection can transform how you approach challenges. It's also important to identify the blocks that hinder this alignment. Often, these are limiting beliefs we've carried since childhood, such as "I'm not good enough" or "success is for others, not for me." These thoughts create noise in the frequency we're trying to reach. Replacing them with positive affirmations, like "I am worthy of everything I desire," is a crucial step in tuning your vibration. Finally, vibrational alignment is not an overnight transformation. Vibrational alignment is a journey that requires patience and persistence. But as you begin to notice the small signs, an unexpected opportunity, an idea that arrives at just the right time, it becomes clear that the effort is worthwhile. Through this process, you open yourself to something even deeper, a growth that transcends material desires and connects you to a greater wisdom. Personal growth. Life is a constant journey of learning, and every step offers an opportunity for growth. But what does it truly mean to grow as a person? For many, it might seem distant or abstract, but personal growth is present in every small decision, every moment we choose to transform, even if only slightly. What if there were a way to integrate lessons from alternate realities to accelerate this development? It's as though these versions of ourselves are invisible mentors, revealing what's possible when we overcome our limitations. Imagine for a moment that in another reality, there's a version of you who has already faced the challenges you're dealing with today. This version has discovered solutions and developed strategies to overcome obstacles. What if you could bring that wisdom into your current life? A practical example can be found in the habit of reflection. Take time each day to think about your actions, decisions, and, most importantly, the lessons they've taught you. Ask yourself, if I could relive this day, what would I do differently? This simple practice could be a gateway to insights that once seemed out of reach. Another crucial aspect of personal growth is openness to change. Often, we resist change because it takes us out of our comfort zones. But growth never happens in stagnation. Consider the butterfly. Before it can fly, it must endure the discomfort of leaving its cocoon. Could some of the difficulties we face actually be cocoons waiting to be broken? What if today's discomfort is merely the prelude to tomorrow's transformation? Biblical stories often teach us about the power of personal growth. The story of Joseph, who rose from a pit to become Egypt's governor, is a perfect example. He could have succumbed to despair on his journey, but he chose to learn and grow at every stage, even in the most challenging moments. These Christian teachings remind us that, even when life feels unfair, there's always a greater purpose behind our experiences. Through these biblical lessons, we find inspiration to face our own challenges with courage and faith. Growth also requires self-awareness. Do you truly know what you want in life? Often, we operate on autopilot, living out dreams projected onto us by others. Take time to reflect on your desires and values. A practical tip is to write down your short dash, medium dash, and long-term goals in a journal. Ask yourself, do these goals reflect who I am or who others expect me to be? This simple exercise can bring about transformative clarity. In addition, personal growth is driven by action. It's easy to get lost in thoughts and plans, but true change happens when you act. Imagine you want to become more confident. It's not enough to simply desire it. You need to practice confidence in real situations, even if it starts with small steps like voicing your opinion in a conversation or facing a seemingly minor fear. Each small victory builds a solid foundation for self-confidence. Another powerful way to grow is by learning from the people around you. Everyone, without exception, has something to teach. Maybe a colleague possesses a skill you admire, or a friend has a unique approach to solving problems. By creating space for these exchanges, you broaden your perspective and enrich your journey. As the saying goes, we are all students and teachers simultaneously. What if the teachings of other realities were manifesting through these interactions? However, personal growth also requires patience with yourself. In a world that values quick results, it's easy to feel frustrated when changes take time. But remember, the greatest transformations happen gradually, like a tree that grows silently before becoming majestic. Practicing patience is a lesson in itself, teaching us to respect life's rhythm and trust the process. Finally, personal growth is deeply connected to purpose. Without purpose, it's easy to get lost in distractions or pursue goals that lack real meaning. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to represent? This is a powerful question that can guide all your choices and actions. When you live with purpose, even challenges become opportunities to deepen your connection with what truly matters. When we begin to apply these lessons, something incredible happens. Life ceases to be just a series of days and transforms into a journey rich with meaning. Every experience, good or bad, becomes an essential piece in the puzzle of our growth. And through this process, we start to perceive something even deeper, a connection that propels us toward something greater. Now that you understand the power behind these signs, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue ignoring these messages, letting opportunities slip away? Or will you finally open your eyes to something that could completely change the course of your life? This choice is yours, but remember, every time you decide not to act, you're leaving untapped potential on the table. Start now. Pay attention to the next déjà vu, the coincidence that feels too big to be random, or even the silence echoing in your moments of doubt. Is it just your imagination, or is something greater trying to awaken you? The truth is, you'll only discover it when you stop questioning and start listening. And as you ponder this, ask yourself, which version of you are you willing to become? The one who ignores opportunities, or the one who decides to act boldly? Because, in the end, growth, change, and evolution are decisions that depend entirely on you. Are you ready for this journey? If so, this is just the beginning. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join us in exploring these mysteries, unlocking your true potential, and living a life that makes sense. After all, there's so much more waiting for you than what meets the eye. The decision is yours.